What's up, everyone? It's Ryan and Crystal's Reviews, and we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do the Saturday night comic show now instead of doing Sunday, just because I've got so many books this week, probably the most I've had in a long time. And you probably heard Crystal talk about it earlier. We went to CollectaCon today in Frisco. I believe that was the first one they've ever done. It was more geared towards Pokemon cards and trading cards, stuff like that. There were a few comic booths. I got a few books, I think 4 in total. Didn't really spend a lot, which was, well, obviously, which is good, but because I'd been spending a lot through the week on just picking up a lot of key books as I see them and stuff like that and continue the runs. So I got a lot of books, so we'll jump into it pretty quick. We're going to run through the Avengers that I picked up this week. So I think I've mentioned in earlier videos that, Captain America is kind of the main focus right now, and Avengers is a secondary focus. That's going to be switching because you can see I got a lot of Cap books, and I'm now about 20 books away from finishing out that run of 100 to 454, because 100 is where it starts. So I've got about 30 books, no, 20 books, 22, 23 books left to get. So I'm getting really excited to have that full entire run. And maybe when I get that, I'll kind of do like a little video just kind of going through all of them, or going through some of the more key books that I have. Because some of those books, obviously, I got before I started doing the show. So let's run through the Avengers here. I got, maybe 10, 12 Avengers comics. So first one is Avengers 13. So this is a pretty nice copy. It's not anything like, it's probably on the very good to fine side. So one thing you'll kind of notice with some of the older books that I have that I've kind of been experimenting with this a little bit. We'll go ahead and talk about it. I found these things on Amazon called Mippet, which are the micro chamber interleaving paper. So that's basically what the CGC puts in theirs. They put one in the behind the front cover, one in the back cover, and then that's it. I put one in the centerfold as well, just for extra little bit of protection there. And then what I've done, like with this book, what I've done is I actually take a Mylite 2, which is the standard size, which is about 7 inches. I put the book in that by itself, upside down with the flap on the bottom. And then I take and stick the backing board in a Mylite 4, which is about 7 1/4. And then I slide it in there together. So basically this board is not touching the comic whatsoever. I did some research lately on boards, and a lot of boards, even though they say they're acid free, they're basically acid free at the time of production and not in, say, 5 years when it's about time to start changing boards. So you should change boards probably depending on the board, that is, about every 5 years. Because as the board starts to touch the comic and that the acid and the ink, especially the older books, starts seeping through, starts changing things in the book, then it can actually transfer onto that board and basically kind of create a really bad situation for your book. I found a couple books, I found the boards to be somewhat brown, and books that I bought maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So I like the E. Gerber products, the halfback and fullbacks. So I'm in the process of trying to get some more halfbacks. I've run out, and I switched over to another company, and that was one of the companies that, after doing some research, really are turned into very acidic boards after a certain amount of time. So that was kind of something. I saw some people talk about, putting them in Mylite 2s and then into 4s, or even from 2s into Mylar 4s or archives. And then I didn't invent this, so I'm not trying to take credit for this, because I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that do this. It was just something I kind of thought about, and I'm like, well, maybe that would be better for some of my older books instead of having that. So it's only touching the Mylite page is the direct contact with the book. I don't know if it's the best thing to do. It's just something I'm gonna kind of experiment with and see if it's gonna work. And obviously, you experiment with it, and you're not really gonna find out anything for a few years. That's the thing. So that's Avengers 13. So this one, I haven't switched out yet. So this is Avengers 15. Now by my hand shall perish a villain. That's when the first Zemo, Cap kills the first Zemo in that one. So this is Avengers 19. This is the origin of Hawkeye in the first Swordsman. Not a great copy, but there is a rumor that the Swordsman may appear in the Hawkeye series. And since this is kind of the origin of Hawkeye going along with that, then I thought it would be a good book to go ahead and pick up just in case I can't get it down the line. So I found that at a local shop, $20, $25. It's not a great copy, but once again, I talk about some of these books. I want to get it, the grade sometimes isn't the most important thing to me. It's having the book, especially when you get into the more key books, is just having those books. So here's Avengers 51. Really nice copy, probably a fine copy. So this one is Avengers 64. So this is the first appearance of Trickshot, which is Clint Barton's brother, which is Barney Barton, I think. So again, this is another book, me kind of looking forward and saying, okay, could they bring Trickshot in and have Hawkeye have a brother? I mean, he had a family and we didn't even know it until the second Avengers movie, so that could be a possibility. And then we got a nice little run of a few hundred books here. This book's not in the best of shape, but it's Avengers 102. Vision and Grim Reaper kind of going at it. Here's 104. Nice book. And then 108. I actually won all three of these in an auction on eBay at the same time for not even that much, like just a few dollars a book. So that was a good pickup. And then we got Avengers 217. So these are a little higher books. Avengers 218. Avengers 219. And then a good iconic cover, Avengers 223 with Hawkeye and Ant-Man. It's a pretty famous cover. They kind of recreated that in Civil War. And then 264, which is the first appearance of the second or third Yellow Jacket, Rita DeMera. I don't know, there's been so many Ant-Mans and Yellow Jackets. 268. 269. It's a nice book. Kang the Conqueror, who's coming, and Ant-Man. 270. And 271. So that's the Avengers run. So yeah, it's about maybe 10 or 15 books. I've got a couple in the key. I've got what, one or two here in the key pile. So we'll get to those here in a second. So I also won an auction for I think it's like 4 or 5 Silver Surfer books. This is volume 3 of Silver Surfer. So this is number 1. That's a nice pickup. Number 2. I'm a fan of the Surfer, so I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with him, number 5, in the MCU. 14. Hopefully something really cool. And then 33. You know, Feige, they've got the formula down. They do a really good job with all the characters, really. I mean, I don't know if there's really been maybe the Inhuman show, but it wasn't really MCU. You know, it was Marvel's TV or ABC TV, whatever it was at the time. So I also won a lot of some Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. I think there's like 8 or 9 books here. So this is number 63. I actually got 2 65s in this lot. So there's 1 and 2. May do a giveaway with one of those. I think that'd be kind of cool to do. Think about that. Here's 66. 68. 69. 70. They're all in, you know, fairly decent shape. 72. 73. 83, 94. The title kind of changed there a little bit. 95, 147. So that's pretty cool. There's, you know, a handful of books there. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 books. I won all those in a lot for like $3 a piece or something like that. So we had a couple Spider-Man books. So 2 of these I bought today at CollectaCon. They were $10 a piece despite the price. So I think they were the only 2 Spider-Man books they had. So I went ahead and got them. So there's 153. So you can see they originally had this marked at $40. They sold it for $10. And then 198. That one didn't come from today. That one was a book I bought this week. And then 209. They had this one priced at 30. Got it for 10. So that's a pretty good pickups. And then we go into the Captain America books. So I've got probably 15, 20 Captain America books here. So we got Captain America 123, early Cap, Captain America 128, Captain America 132. This one, the cover's detached on it, but not that big of a deal to me. I mean, I got it for a couple bucks. Captain America 143. Once again, to me it's a filler. I know this book kind of, I think it runs for about 20 bucks, but it's kind of a filler issue for me. 147. This is a nice book there. 148. It's a nice copy. Good shape. 149. 150. The Stranger. 156. Cap kind of fights himself. 157, which he did in Endgame. 158. 159. And then we go a little higher number. This is actually, when it was packaged, there were 2 back-to-back. So there's, let's go 338 and then 339. They were packaged that way. And then 355, he turns into a teenager. It's kind of funny. And then part of the Bloodstone Hunt, this is part 3, so it's 359. This is the one that had Crossbones, first appearance Crossbones in that storyline. And then here's 361. And then getting even higher, 375. Streets of Poison. So I might have actually picked up this whole run. 376, I like this cover. It's got Black Widow on it, Diamondback, and then on the side here it's got Kingpin and Daredevil, Bullseye, and Crossbones. It's a neat cover. So that is 376, and then 377. It kind of looks like Crossbones and Bullseye are fighting over who gets to kill Captain America. I don't think I've read this storyline, Streets of Poison. 378. Might have to break them out, look at them, read them. It's cool about reading these books is they're higher, so the paper's a lot better. In fact, let's just kind of open this one up and look at that. So the paper, obviously, as they got into the 90s, got better. It wasn't kind of that really old newspaper style paper. A little better paper here. I guess maybe it's still kind of that still style, but it's kind of a weird page to turn to. Red Skull's doing some exercising, and he's, it's always weird to see him with just his red skull, and then the rest of his body's kind of normal. But yeah, They don't have quite the same smell as the older books do. But I haven't read that storyline. It might be something to read. I'll just leave that out for now. It's okay. And then the last one is $3.98, Galactic Storm. That's part 1, so that's the beginning of it. So that is the cat books for this week. You can see I got, probably 15 books there. And then we're going to go into the key books. So these books are, I think, either like first appearances, keys, or something that's just really old that I thought was kind of cool. I guess I could have thrown Avengers 13 in here, but I went ahead and left it in the regular one. So this first one is an Avengers book. This has become a really highly sought after comic in the last maybe year. Especially with WandaVision coming out. It's even gone up. This isn't the best copy, but it's okay. It's got some color break on the cover, but it's intact and everything's there, which is always nice. This is Avengers 57. That's the first appearance of Vision. So you can kind of see up here in the corner some color break here, creases. The spine's okay. It shows some signs of wear, but you kind of expect that from a book this old, unless you're going to buy a CGC 8 or something, and spend $1,500. No, thank you. That's just too much more than I want to spend. So that's a good book. Like I said, that's first appearance of Vision. So that's a really hot book right now. Everyone's kind of going after. I think WandaVision kind of pushed it even further into the higher range books. Especially if you get a really nice copy. So next one is, actually we'll do this one next because this is Avengers. So this is Avengers 11. So this is when Spider-Man's involved, kind of, sort of. Kang the Conqueror basically replicates Spider-Man and he fights the Avengers. This is another book that I did with the Mylar 4 style with the Muppets inside. This book is intact. It's got some spine issues. It's not that bad. Everything. I mean, it's the staples. Everything's attached. It's a nice, clean copy. It's not crazy bad. I've got a book in here that is kind of crazy bad, but I had to buy it at what book it is. So this is, and what I like about these Mylar 4s is I used to use top loaders. Like I've got like my early Spider-Mans and top loaders, and these Mylar 4s are so thick that they kind of almost act like a top loader. Like obviously you could still bend it if something put pressure on it, but I just feel a little more confident with having it in Mylar 4. And you notice I didn't have that on 57. I just haven't had a chance to switch that over yet. So, and then we got X-Men number 4. This is the second series X-Men. So this is first appearance of Omega Red. There's obviously with the MCU, there's always rumors flying around. And one of the big rumors right now, obviously, is we're moving forward with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is Zemo the only villain? There's been kind of some rumors that since they go to Madripoor that there could be some mutants involved because that's kind of a mutant thing. So we'll see. And then one of the rumors is that Omega Red is potentially another villain of the show. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to start bringing in mutants yet. I think that's going to be something we're going to see in the movies. Probably in Doctor Strange. I think that's probably where you're first going to see it. I think you'll see some hints in Eternals with the mutant gene. That'll probably be the first time it's really actually talked about. One, you could argue that Monica Rambeau is kind of a mutant now. She had some sort of, it talks about her cells kind of changing. So you could kind of make that argument, but it's never actually said on screen yet. So, but this is a nice book. I got it in a pretty good copy. It's Jim Lee cover, which, Jim Lee's one of the best. So hopefully, I'm hoping that if he does show up, that book's going to go crazy. So if you want to get it, now would be the time to get it because you can get it I think I got that copy for like $30. I mean, that's like, just eyeballing it, I'd say it's at minimum a 7.5. So now would be the time to go after that one, especially if you like Omega Red and you don't have it, because that book's gonna skyrocket if that rumor turns out to be true. So the next book I got is Marvel Premiere #1, which again, that was another rumor this week that Adam Warlock was going to be cast in Guardians 3. They teased him in Guardians 2 in the post-credit scenes with the cocoon. And fix my camera there. So they teased him in that, and there's a potential he's going to show up in 3. I think it was Illuminati reported that they reported that they were looking for an actor like a Zac Efron type, whatever. And then James Gunn got on Twitter and started blasting, saying, "I don't know where you're getting this information from, but it's wrong." And they kind of had a little back and forth. And then the Illuminati, they didn't take the article down. All they basically said was, James Gunn tweeted that, this isn't correct. But we've seen in the past actors and directors say things and then they still turn out to be true. They deny, and they turn out to be true. So I think that's kind of the Marvel thing to do, right? The actress that's playing She-Hulk, that's a prime example. Like a few days before that it got announced, she was on Twitter denying and writing this big tweet or Instagram, I can't remember which one it was, denying the whole thing. It was all well written, and then like 2 or 3 days later it finds out. It's announced that she's She-Hulk. So it is what it is. They're going to deny until Marvel's ready to release things and say, yeah, definitively this is where we're going. So the next book is X-Men Annual number 14. This is a phenomenal book. I picked this up today. This is the first appearance cameo of Gambit. And this book, as you can see, it's marked 9.2. This book is in great shape. I mean, the spine's clean. I don't know if you might not be able to see the spine there, but the spine's really clean. It's really nice. There's like no stress on it. It's a phenomenal book. It was one of those, I saw it and I'm like, I don't want to let that get by. I got to get that. I don't really have a lot of X-Men's not really a run that I've really collected that much of. I used to have a lot and I sold some of them, and obviously I regret doing that because I had some really early ones. I think I had 5, 6, 7, 11 was first Juggernaut, 12 I think, or maybe 8. So I had quite a few early ones. I ended up selling them at one time to raise some money for something. So this is a nice book. This is a phenomenal book. First cameo of Gambit, and Gambit's coming. They were going to do that one movie with Channing Tatum, and they didn't. I don't think he's a character we're going to see right away. I think they're going to go with. I'd like to see Feige go with the original X-Men of Cyclops, Angel, Iceman, Beast, non-furry Beast, and Jean Grey, Marvel Girl. I'd really like to see, of course, Professor X. I'd really like to see him go that way with it, instead of throwing Wolverine in right away, or Storm, or anybody else. I'd really like to see at least one movie, maybe 2, when it's just them, and then kind of sprinkle the others in some shows or movies or whatever. So the next book is a very sought after book right now. This is the one I was talking about that's in really, really bad shape. I picked this up today. I had this book at one time in decent shape and I sold it, and I've regretted it ever since. But again, this book's pretty rough, but it is what it's still a big key issue, and I felt like I didn't want to let it get away. So this is Fantastic Four, number 49. I'll zoom in a little bit here. You can see the spine's just stressed, roached, whatever you want to call it. There's tape on it. Out of the bag, it's all there. All the pages are there. They're not missing any pages. Out of the bag, it doesn't. It's not crumbling, which is always good. I'll probably be able to get it switched out into a Mylight at least, and then I don't know if I'll probably put I might not even put Mippet papers in it. I might just, it is what it is. This is one of those situations to where I want to continue to look for this book in a higher grade. My target is like a 4 or a 5. Obviously, right now that's going to run about $1,000 the way it's going. And then if I do, then I'll sell this and at least try to make back, I mean, the $100 that it costs, or that make back $100 on it. I'll be happy. You know, it's not, like I said, it's not in that, it's a fair at best, but it's all there. So that's always good. The spine's just really bad shape. It's roached. But as someone told me one time when he sold me Fantastic Four 3, and I've said this before, it's still Fantastic Four 3. And I repeated that to him today when he sold me 49. And he remembered saying that to me too. So next book, I got this book today at CollectaCon. This book's in really good shape. This has got to be at least an 8, maybe an 8.5, could be a 9. But again, this is Special Marvel Edition 16, so this is second appearance of Shang-Chi. And this was another book that I took out, and I did the Mylight 2, or I did Mippet Papers, Mylight 2, backing board in the Mylight 4, so it's not actually touching the book. So this book is really nice. Corners on it really nice. Really solid book. It's got the little marking that they used to do up there when they would run across them with the pin to show that it was last week's book or last month's book, however they would do that. So this is a really nice book, and I didn't overpay. I didn't pay a whole lot for it, so I felt like I kind of got a decent book there. Sometimes you go to the Comic-Cons, and sometimes, man, they really price those books really high, and it's almost like you're better off just going off the eBay prices. But sometimes you find something that really is a good deal, and I kind of felt like that was a pretty decent deal. So next one, this isn't a key issue. It's an older book. I thought it was kind of cool book. I bought it today. This is another one I bought at the show. This is Journey into Mystery, Thor 115. Again, this was another book. I kind of experimented with the Mippet papers and the Mylight 2, the backing board. So kind of my thought behind doing it this way is, say like the first, like with Avengers would probably the first 50 books would be done that way. Spider-Man would probably be the first 100, because just about all of those are kind of up there. And then kind of go forward, key books would definitely get it. And then, as I move forward into other books like Journey into Mystery or whatever, maybe the first 15 to 20 or 30 or whatever it may be would all get that kind of treatment. So it's just a nice book. I mean, it was just, I got it like $20, something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was like $20. So the next book is Tales to Astonish 62. This is the Giant Man and the Incredible Hulk. This is the first appearance of the leader. It's a cameo appearance. It's not full. And I didn't pay $75 for it. I know that sticker's on there, but when they sent it to me, that's what it had on there. It's a solid book. It's probably in the very good Defined family. There's a little stress line on the spine, but other than that, it's pretty good shape. I like these old Tales to Astonish books with Giant Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp when they kind of started out. They're a little more detailed with them than they were in Avengers. It's just a good book. And then the next one is Secret Wars, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, number 3. This is the first appearance of Titania, which she is rumored to be the villain in She-Hulk. So it's kind of one of those that I went ahead and picked up, and I just got it for, I don't know, $3 or $4 or something like that. But if it is true that she is the villain, this book will probably go to like $20, $25 or something like that. I'm not going to go crazy. But I'd rather spend $3 than 25. So that was kind of my reasoning behind it. So next book, this is a book I had a while back and I sold in that big sale that I saw, and a lot of books I sold off when we were raising money for something. This is a nice book. It's pretty solid. This is Black Panther #1 in his solo series. So he was in Fantastic Four, is where he debuted, and then Jungle Action, and then he got his own series. And he's back as only Jack Kirby can do it, and you can tell it's pure Kirby art at its finest, right? You know, his hands are kind of coming out towards you, and Kirby was really good about kind of making the book feel like it was coming towards you, right? And it's a really solid book. And then I've got what, about 4 or 5 more here. This is another book that I sold when I was in that lot. Good to have it back. This is Iron Fist #1. Not a major book by any stretch, but it's still Iron Fist #1. I like the cover when he's fighting Iron Man. Okay, so we're getting to the home stretch here. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 113, first appearance of Hammerhead. Solid book. He's not a villain that I think is gonna be a main villain, but he could show up as like a secondary villain in the beginning of the movie or something, or maybe he's off in the back or whatever, in behind the scenes type deal. So picked that book up. It's a nice book. I didn't have it, so I picked it up. Next book's New Mutants 32. So this is the first appearance of Madripoor when they go to Madripoor. So once again, there's speculation that the city that is seen in the trailer of Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's Madripoor, and if that is, then that book's going to get a jump. This book isn't going to turn out and be $500 in a week, 2 weeks, whatever. But you know, I think I got it for like $2, $3. So it's probably going to go to 20 or 25, maybe 30 when that happens. And I'd rather pay $2 or $3 than 30. So last 2 books here are both from the same series. And then again, this is another thing. This book is in good shape. They listed it as a good 2.5, but it's got everything. The pages look nice. The cover looks nice. I was kind of surprised. I don't know if someone graded it and then they didn't really know what they were doing, but this is Eternals #1. So this has become like a big book now because, yeah, they graded it a 2.5. It's back on the back of the cover, or back here on the flap. This has become a big book because of the movie. The trailer obviously hasn't come out yet. I'm looking forward to the trailer to see what they're going to do with this. When the trailer comes out, this book will take a jump, just like Black Panther did. Black Panther 1 did. The trailer came out, Civil War, showing Black Panther. That book jumped probably about 30% cost. This book will do the same thing. I got this book for like $50, I think. I think that's what it was. Solid book. It looks nice. I mean, I think if I got it slabbed, it would present really well. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's got a little crease here that does break the color, but it's not that bad. And then the last book goes along with it. So this is Eternals #2. So when you kind of get into the Eternal, I haven't really read. It's been a while. Well, I have read, but it's been a long time since I've read the Eternal series. So when you get into these, then you start seeing, like, I think this is first appearance of Arshim, the judge, and then you can see Claire there in the background. And a drink of water as I finish up. I think 5 is first Ajax, and then 3 is first Circe. So actually I bought those, they just haven't got here yet. So that's it for this week's show. Like I said, I got a lot of books this week, so I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I got more coming in. So I want to thank you all for watching my stuff, watching Crystal's stuff. We appreciate everyone. We're getting close to 100 subscribers. I know I say that. I've said that the last couple weeks, but we appreciate you all subscribing. Please subscribe, like the video, comment down below. I love to talk comics with people, so throw something down there in the comments below. And then maybe when we get to 100, we'll do some giveaways or something like that. But we appreciate everybody watching. And then, oh, hit the little bell too for notifications of her. She posts a lot more videos than I do now. Excuse me, but so hit that little bell for notifications on when she's doing unboxings. She does unboxings like every day, it seems like, because she's always got stuff coming. Just kind of like how I've been. I get them and then I save them for the week show. So we appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great Saturday night, and we thank you for watching our channel, and I thank you for watching the video, and we will see you next time.